Wednesday, the 15th, I think. I'm at work right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm at work right now, driving around. I got a word from the Lord. I'm trying to remember, because I was trying to wait till I get to a stop, but I couldn't wait no more. So people going through a storm right now. All right, people going through a storm right now. Some of y'all may not. Some of y'all might like it. Some of y'all probably won't. People going through a storm right now. What y'all gotta do, not focus on that storm at all. Don't focus on that storm. Don't focus on your bills being late. Don't focus on your car being broken. Don't focus on you got this to handle, you got that to handle. What you need to focus on is the presence of God. Okay, you got them bills being late. All right, so God is never late. God is never late. You got them bills being late. You out here, depending on the God of this world, the lowercase g gods of this world, which is money, pride, arrogance, and you know what I'm saying? And you depend on them, and those gods have shown to be proven inconsistent. Why won't you guys depend on and look at the consistent God? Okay? I ain't never begged for bread. My son ain't never begged for bread, and my daughter ain't never begged for bread, okay? The Lord said that the children of the righteous, they would never beg for bread. You never seen them begging for bread. All right, you know what I'm saying? I lost my train of thought. Keep your eyes on God in the storm. Okay, look at Peter when he walked on water. He kept his eyes on God, on Jesus. The minute he took his eyes off Jesus, he began to sink. You look at the water as walking on water. You could show it as faith, but walking on the water is faith. But when you begin to sink into the water, that's doubt. That's doubt. All right, that's remorse. That's pride. That's arrogance. That's leaning on your own understanding. The Lord said, don't lean. Don't lean on your own understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways. Okay? Don't think, my bills due. Yeah, you got to get out and work, but don't put your heart, don't put your dependence, don't put your trust, your love into making that money so your family can eat. That ain't where it goes. All right, that's not where it goes. It goes into the one true God. Okay, some of us is claiming God, but we out here serving another God. Money, our cars. All right, God should have a sound mind. You out here scrambling around, and money was created as money is created so you can get things, but it's not created to serve. All right, if you putting other things aside so you can make money, and you call yourself a Christian, or you say that you believe in God, you should question which God you're talking about. Okay, don't sit up here and get prideful, from what's being said. Question yourself, test yourself, study and show yourself approved. Okay, the Lord said, die to yourself daily. You can't trust the Lord if you ain't dying to yourself daily. Okay, dying to yourself. Let's see. Ooh, that's a different topic. I'm sorry. I'm trying, please. Keep your eyes on God through the storm. You depressed, go pray. Your hands should be lifted up to the sky, as King David did. He danced, and I think when he battled the Philistines, I could be getting the story wrong, but one of the men of God in the Bible, they danced in the middle of war. Okay, dancing is a sign of victory. That's why God say when times are hard, you get up and you give God a praise. When times are good, you get up and give God a praise. You pray, you sing to Him. You sing hymns. All right? Good and bad. You focus on God. All right? Too much of us is out here depending on money. Depending on possessions. Trying to keep our possessions. If God say let it go, you got to let it go. I'm going to be real with y'all. It's going to hurt. Right now, it hurt me. You know? It hurt me. Don't listen to these pastors, these wolves behind the pulpit. Don't listen to them, because they telling you to focus on the blessing. No, they don't tell you what to focus on, but they don't tell you what not to focus on. Okay? They telling you that you got this coming, you got that coming. You may have it coming. You may have it coming. God has something for everybody. You may have it coming. But if you're spiritually, what people say now, woke, I don't know if y'all still say that no more. Nah, I ain't old. I'm only, you know what I'm saying, I'm 21, but I don't be out in the world like that. So if you say you're woke or spiritually or whatever, then you would know that you're supposed to focus on God. If you say you know about the Bible, when these preachers tell you, oh, I got a blessing coming, that means get in your prayer closet. That means you got a storm coming, that means get in your prayer closet. If you got blessings coming, that means get in your prayer closet. All right? One thing about this world that I love about this world is that no matter how hard the enemy tries, everything always points back to God. Okay? Blessings come from God. The enemy don't give you no blessings. You look at the leaders and the rappers and the rich people of this world. How much of them is truly at peace? Okay? I ain't gonna lie to you. I be looking at Blueface. You know what I'm saying? When I do see him on like Instagram and all that, I look at him. He don't look satisfied. Like all of them, DDG, whatever. They always look like something missing from them. All right, the riches of this world don't satisfy. They will never satisfy. They will never satisfy. Now, God, that don't mean that you won't be rich. If you're meant to be rich, you will be rich. You look at Job, he was rich. King David was rich. I mean, he's a king, so he had to have been rich. Okay, Jesus was rich in spirit. He was poor. Jesus was homeless. Now look at that. Jesus had his eyes solely on God, even unto death. Even when God turned his face away from him because he was a sin, because he became sin. And God can't look at nothing that is not pure. He can't look at it. And Jesus still had his eyes on God. That's how he was still strong. Okay, that's how he was still strong to take them lashes, to take the spit, to take the slap, to take everything. Okay? And hold it on his back. He literally took the weight of the world and held it. But that Greek god Atlas, that ain't no God. That's Jesus right there. Jesus is the one who carried the world on his back and died carrying the world. If Jesus kept his eyes on God through them, those hardest, ain't nobody could say they had it harder than Jesus. Okay? No one. He could have left. He could have quit. God had his angels ready. And it says so. God had his angels ready in case Jesus wanted to change his mind. So that lets you know he had the opportunity, he had the option, he had the choice to go and change his mind, just as we do. It wasn't his assignment. It was a voluntary sacrifice. And he didn't have to do it. So I'm telling you, you have the choice whether you're going to focus on your problems, whether you're going to focus on the lightning, whether you're going to focus on the rain and the winds, and whether you're going to focus on the storm. Or you're going to get up and you're going to walk on water with your eyes on Jesus. Because if you ain't looking at Jesus, if you ain't looking at his purity, all right, you're going to sink in that water. You're going to sink to every bit of problems that you got. Some of us need to wake up, especially in these times. I've been listening to Marcus Rogers for the longest. He's saying God is about to raise us some kings, okay? I ain't trying to take his preaching, but I'm saying. I was saying it before I heard him say it. For, the pandemic, I told my wife, okay, this pandemic ain't it's a test. Who gonna stick with God, who ain't? Who gonna get this vaccine, who ain't? How much people I know say they ain't gonna get the vaccine but got the vaccine? Okay, everybody posting it on social media, this, that, you got the vaccine, man. Where your faith at? Where these churches, man? These churches talking about, oh, you gotta have the vaccine. Now they have it to where you gotta have the vaccine to enter into a church, to go to work. Like, that's ridiculous. God said, obey the laws of the land. But obey the laws of the land until they get into my way, until they ruin our relationship. So many of us ain't got our eyes on God. And I'm one. I'm guilty of it. I'll be the first to say it before anybody call me. I'll be the first to acknowledge it. I'm guilty of it. Okay? Whether you learning or whether you have learned, you got to keep your eyes on the Lord, eyes on the Father. Don't bump this Christian music and not be about the words that you sing. Don't read the Bible and not be about the words that you read. Don't preach the Bible and not be about the words that you preach. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a hearer of the word but not a doer of the word. All right? We out here to call those that are asleep to wake up. Because some of us is saying that we woke, but we dead asleep. We in a coma. We spiritually in a coma. Times ain't going to get easier from this COVID. Look at what Joe Biden is doing, man. That's who the Christian community selected as president, because they didn't like Trump. You got to really pay attention. Trump ain't perfect, okay? Nobody was. But Joe Biden ain't good for nothing at all. Well, y'all don't know, the same stimulus package that Joe Biden sent out was the same one that Trump was trying to send out and more. Y'all just voted on Joe Biden because he bribed y'all. He bribed y'all. Whether he pulled through or not, he bribed y'all. Y'all sold y'all soul. What good? What does it profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul? I know I'm jumping around. What does it profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul? That show, y'all voted on Joe Biden because of he sent out like a $4,000 stimulus. That's good money. That's life-changing money. It ain't life-changing, but it's a decent amount of money. But where your eyes at? Y'all eyes was on that money. Christians, readers, preachers of the word. I ain't vote for Joe Biden. Trump painted the media so bad. I ain't kept up with none of it, but from what I heard, from what I seen, he wasn't really that bad. He's just a regular president. Okay? He got a bit of power and was arrogant with it. Okay? He ain't perfect. But when it came down to it, he cared about the American people. His campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again," was true, whether it was racist or not. I don't know if it was racist for sure, because I'm not him. The only way I can see him is from what the media provides. Okay? Let me say this, man. A lot of us, okay? And I'm gonna say it again, a lot of us don't have our eyes on the Lord. We should be focused on him, so focused on his glory that it should be as if we are in a trance, walking around smiling while we going through this stuff. Times is gonna get harder. Marcus Rogers said it. Times gonna get harder. I've been saying it. Times is gonna get harder. I've been preparing my wife for these hard times since I left my job last year. I didn't know. I had the urge to, things ain't gonna get easy. Things is gonna get harder. Since I was like 10, 11, maybe between 10 and 13. I've been preparing myself because I knew about, this stuff happening already. God had been showing it to me. This is 11 years ago. God showed it to me, and I've always prepared myself. Never wanted to be comfortable. Never wanted no materialistic. I got a nice, cool look. You know what I'm saying? I got a cool little bit of stuff, but I'm not attached to those things. It may hurt to lose it, but in the end, I know what I'm trying to do. I know where I'm trying to go. I told God, okay, yeah, I know the things of this world could corrupt me. So limit what I can get. Okay? Limit what I can do. If my eyes become focused on those things, I don't want it. Take it away. Drag me down. Because I don't want it. I know where I want to be, but these things of this world can distract you. Look at Percy Jackson. That movie, Percy Jackson, it can point directly to the Bible. That's why I say I love this world. One thing I love about this world is you can't deny God. No matter where you look, you can't deny God. You can't. What the enemy meant for evil, God always turn it for his good, for your good and for his glory. No matter what, he gonna turn it for good. Okay, you look at Percy Jackson. He went into the Lotus, their little casino joint, and he became distracted with the seductive spirits, with the liquor and the lotus flower. He became distracted until he woke up. Until he woke up out the world. You can't watch, man. Until he woke up out the world. And when he woke up out the world, his eyes, we gonna say he was a Christian. His eyes went right back to God. And he never took his eyes off again. You look at the lightning bolt he gained, that's power. Okay? The Holy Spirit's presence is like fire and lightning. Alright? If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. I may be straying away from the message. I'm not sure. Because I didn't hear anything I said. The Lord was talking, and I would have to go back and watch the video to make sure. But keep your eyes on the Lord. These times are going to get harder. God is going to show. It's about to be exposed. Marcus Rogers said it. Alright? And now I'm passing on the message. Some of the people that watch my videos may not know about him. But he about to expose who the sheeps and the goats are. You don't got strength. You need to work out your strength. Alright. The Lord gave every man a measure of faith. That means he gave you a set amount. He gave you a set amount. So if he gave you $2 worth of faith, that's what you have. But he never said you can't grow it. So you could turn that $2 into $4, that $4 into $20 worth of faith. Alright? He gave you a measure of faith. Grow it. Keep your eyes on the Lord, because this world is wicked. This is for my Christians, okay? This is for the people that claim to be of God. All right? Okay, you look at my son right here. Look at my son. He knows he gonna get a bottle every single day. He knows every time he never went without food. He never went without having his diaper changed when he needed. Right? That's a baby, right? Okay? Now what am I going with? What am I trying? All right, he never went without food. He never went without his diaper, but yet he cries every time he's hungry and every time he needs his diaper changed. And he'll cry as he sees me or my wife handling his needs. Take that and look at ourselves. How much of us is praying and crying and crying and crying and crying to God for things to change? Okay? That bottle that we make for our kids, it's not instant. It doesn't come like that. You got to put the formula in. First of all, you got to get the bottle. You got to unscrew the lid, the cap from the bottle. You got to put the formula in and the water in. And however y'all make y'all bottles, you got to heat the water up and heat the milk up. However y'all make y'all bottles for y'all kids. Right? So what am I trying to say? It's a process. It's a process. That's why he said that get to the saying of baby Christians. We are babies and we need to be weaned off the milk. Okay? We need to grow up. We need to become men and women, not boys and girls of God. Men. You don't hear nobody say boy of God or girl of God. You hear them say men of God and women of God. It takes a lot more than for you to just say you're a man of God to be a man of God. You can say it all you want, but are you walking as so? Are you crying when you know your God ain't never left you without? Are you crying because your bottle is done? Your bottle ain't made when you want it or the way you want it. Are you crying? Man of God or woman of God? God ain't never left no one without. Even the most wicked ain't never been without. How good is that? Is our God? Even when I personally said, about 10 years old, I prayed to him for something, and I didn't get it, so I said I hated him. Boom. 7 days later, I got diabetes. And ever since I got those diabetes, 3 years straight, I'm in DKA, diabetic something. You know, where the body is eating yourself from the inside out and your body is basically self-destructing. And he never left me without. He delivered me from it every time. Every time I opened the door to the enemy, God shut the door for me. But you can't do none of that without truly surrendering. How many of us is crying while we see God preparing our bottles? Crying out we hungry. Crying out we ain't got this. How many of us took a poop in our diapers, which is mistakes, is what I'm trying to say. And we made our mistakes. We took a poop in our diaper. And our poop smeared all over our booty. And we ain't comfortable sitting in our spot because we got poop on the bottom of our booty. We done made some mistakes. And we crying out to God to come fix them mistakes. And because he ain't because he ain't come the minute you cried, you keep on crying. And you still see him. You still see that he's walking towards you. Compare yourself to you versus the men in the Bible. How many of them was crying out? I don't know not one that was crying out unless it was for the people or for his glory. Keep your eyes on God. I know the message has probably been prolonged, but I don't care. I'm going to keep on going until I don't feel his spirit no more, or until my work gets to calling me and saying, I'm sitting here too long. Keep your eyes on God. Times is coming. Crazy times is coming. But the Lord said when y'all see these times, lift up your eyes to heaven. Raise up your hands. Give God a praise because your redemption is here. Your redemption draws nigh. How many of us in these last days is trying to scramble up and get these little bit of things? You know, everybody now chasing Chargers and these fancy cars. And don't get me wrong, yeah, I want that. But I'm not chasing it. I always say, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Some of us got kids. Some of us got responsibilities. And we feel the need that we got to go out and grind. My son ain't never missed a meal, bro. And I ain't got no money in my bank. None. My son ain't never missed a meal, though. Well, my accounts was in the negative. My son ain't never not had any diapers. Think about that. I'm a parent. I'm a young parent. I don't really got guidance like that. My mom offers to help. Nope. My help comes from the Lord. But don't get me wrong, he has used my mom to help before. But my mom is struggling too, so I don't like to ask. Right? My help comes from the Lord. That's where my help comes from. My joy comes from the Lord. That's where my joy comes from. My peace comes from the Lord. That's where my peace comes from. It don't come from worldly possessions. It don't come from a vaccine. It don't come from a stimulus check. Don't get me wrong. I check my mail to get that, the monthly joint that they got going on right now, just to make sure my wife gets it. We keep in the loop because you got to keep in the loop for what's going on. But my trust ain't there. As soon as I get that check, I say, Lord, okay, what is this for? What are we going to use this for this month? Okay, if I'm not using it for nothing, I'm going to put it aside. But my strength and my joy and my peace, my nourishment, my food, the ability for me to provide, it all comes from the Lord. Y'all would have to... Man, look, y'all got to keep y'all eyes on God. Y'all got to keep in these times, okay? I've been trying to get this out in these times, man, y'all got to keep y'all eyes on the Lord. Yahweh Yeshua HaMashiach. Yahweh and Yeshua HaMashiach, my bad. Some of us know him as Jehovah Jireh. Okay, that's one of his names. It means he's a provider. That's what that name means. Elohim. Okay, but if you call him Jehovah and you trust that he's a provider, then you should trust so. Okay, for some of us that's going through a storm still. Okay, those are called, every time you getting up, now you get dragged. That's a chain. That's a chain that needs to be broken. The Lord don't want us out here struggling unless that's his will for your life. That's his will for your life, right? Unless that's his will for your life, right? Some of us. So if you trust him as a provider and you call him Jehovah, live up to your word. None of us like people that speak and don't live by it. None of us likes anybody that talks but never walks, okay? None of us likes that. So where you think that comes from? That don't come from you. All your emotions come from the Lord. All your judgment comes from the Lord, okay? Okay, the Bible has shown the Lord being angry. The Bible, in fact, says the Lord is a jealous God. That's an emotion right there. But he doesn't allow us to be jealous, because if you're jealous of something, that's a sign of like you want the glory, or that's something that you want, right? Anyways, that is not the message right now. That's for something else. But the message right now is for us to keep our eyes on God. Keep your eyes on God. He's preparing your bottle. He's preparing your bottle, right? See this? Sometimes, okay, the bottle in the beginning when my son started off as one scoop, okay? Then it moved up to 2 scoops. Then it moved up to 3 scoops. And now I'm at 4 scoops. So the process takes longer the more you grow, because it takes more. Because it takes more to get you prepared. Okay? The more okay, for some of us athletes, the more important the game, the more coaching that the coach will put in, right? For some of these preachers, the more important the sermon, the more prayer, or supposed prayer you're supposed to put in prayer, the more prayer you will put in, right? The preachers I watch, I ain't never seen them not pray. Some people, you can just feel the presence of prayer on them. Okay, I went to the Brian Trejo, and he prayed. The Brian Trejo event, and he prayed. All right? He prayed. Some of these preachers don't pray. They'll have a gathered prayer. No, I'm talking about one-on-one time prayer with God. One-on-one. So you can prepare the bottle properly, the way he would like you to prepare it. Don't assume you know how the bottle should be prepared. In my eyes, I believe no sermon should be preached without a word from without you talking to God about it. All right? But sometimes, like I was saying, sometimes as you grow, the longer it will take, the more has to be put into your bottle being made, right? That must have been my thumb. I thought I saw somebody by the car. So I teach my son patience. He's only 8 months, but he knows what patience is when it comes to me. When he get around his mom, he all of a sudden impatient. But I teach my son patience because I know I made stupid decisions based off impatience. Okay, not having a sound. I know I made, you know what I'm saying? So I teach him patience. I teach him to relax. I teach him not to kick, or I try to. Not to kick and scream. If you see the bottle is there, don't scream. That's the minute you rejoice. You get happy. Right there. When you see these things happening, rejoice. Because your redemption draweth nigh. Right there, right? But I can't teach him yet to be happy that his bottle is being prepared. He who hath an ear, let him hear. And blessed is anyone who will understand. Alright? I can't yet teach him to be happy when you see me making your bottle. He only knows what it is, okay? He knows the full, the complete. He don't know the process, right? So, some of us got to teach our kids that, right? Some of us got to bring our kids to God. First, you got to bring yourself to God. Then bring your kids. You don't got to be perfect, and I don't know jack. I don't know nothing about God. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't know nothing. But I'm going to still take you with me. Okay? I don't care. I'm going to take you with me. Because the little bit I get to eat, I'm going to go ahead and give out. I'm going to give it out. Right? So time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. Okay, I ain't got much time. We don't got much time on here. All right. He said he put us on this earth to preach it, to glorify him and spread spread him to all the nations, spread his name, spread his word. Right? Okay, I think I've been here for 30 minutes. I don't care. Spread him to all the nations. Okay? How can any of us be strong in these times? So I'm saying, how can any of us be strong in these times if we don't got our eyes on God? And proof of, this night, like 2 nights ago, right? I never knew about dancing in a storm. You know, I don't even know about praying. You know, praying and read the Bible. I danced. I gave God a praise. And my praise, since Friday night with the revival, my praise ain't never came down. All right? My energy ain't never came. I don't like what I'm doing, you know, whatever. My energy ain't never came down. In hard times, he is your joy. And that is a strong statement. That's a big honest statement, okay? For a person that don't know where they walking, eyes closed, even if their eyes are open, they still blinded. Don't know where they walking. God is a strong presence in the life of the unknown. Right? Look at the sun, right? How many stoners just go out and stargaze? Right? How many stoners keep their eyes on the weed? Some of these stoners go to work just so they can afford weed. Why can't we turn that energy and turn it toward God? Why not rejoice in the hard times so we can focus more on God? Right? I believe there's a message in here. Not a message. I was saying something and I left it off because I forgot. But why not look at God? We look at weed, we look at cars, we look at money. Why can't we look at God? Why is it so hard for us to look at God, huh? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. The summary of it is, hard times are now, hard times were before, hard times are present, and hard times are in the future. Men of God, women of God. Even if you don't believe in God, hard times are out there for you as well. The thing is, keep your eyes on God. And it don't take a weak person to go to God. It takes a strong person to go to God. It takes a weak person to walk away, because the things of God is not for the weak. The path of God is not for the weak. It's not for the feeble-hearted. That's why, that's why he says have faith. Eyes on God, glory to God, amen.